Everybody, this is Dream, and today we have an Atlanta race for NASCAR. This race is at 3:17 Eastern, so keep that in mind. Before I get started, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? It helps the channel a lot. Really do appreciate it. So I'm just going to go down the line, price to price, and kind of give you my top overall guys on this slate here. We do have some value plays as well that have some utility, but we're definitely going to have to, kind of dig in here to find some good opportunities. With that said, I do have my three favorites for the win. William Byron, who won last week, Joey Logano, who starts in second, and then Brad Keselowski, as he's had a good history here. I will go through each of those guys as we get through. Then we're going to start with Joey Logano. So he's starting second. He always starts high in this race, and he's also managed to win in the past four races here. He's got a high rating, and he's led a lot of laps over that stretch. He's only second to Byron in laps led over the past four races. He should be up there leading laps today too, especially with his nice starting position. I expect him to get that lead really quickly from Michael McDowell. Looking at Ryan Blaney, Blaney has three top tens in the past four races here. He's definitely somebody to consider. From the expensive plays, though, this track is a trap as a super speedway now, and he has the potential to get the win if he doesn't get in a mess. He's also the highest rated driver at Atlanta over the past four races, though he hasn't had a win yet. So he's definitely in play, and Penske has done well. Obviously, he's somebody that I also think has some winning potential, but he's probably my fourth favorite from that perspective. Then we're going to look at William Byron here. So he won obviously last week at Daytona, and he and Logano lead the most laps here, like I mentioned. He actually has led more than Logano has, and he has two wins in the last four. He survived Daytona, and he can repeat wins here at super speedways. I think he has a good chance to do that, and so he's definitely in play, and he starts 11th, which actually gives him some utility to move up some. We're also going to look at Chase Elliott, as he is starting pretty far back at 28th position. He's only had one race here in the past four, but he has some potential with the starting position. Obviously, the track configuration is somewhat different. He also has three top tens in the past five races here, so he's got a shot here. That his starting position does give him some room to grow. He definitely carries some risk as he hasn't had a lot of a lot of races here. But Hendrick is a good team, generally speaking. So then we're going to look at Brad Keselowski. Now, Brad starts in 24th, which also helps him as starting make pack gives him a lot of the uh, good, upside when it comes to gaining positions. Now, he is the best driver with the best average finish over the past four races here of non-winners. He's managed two top tens as well. He has some potential to be very sneaky here, so he's definitely in play as an interesting option. And he does have that, potential to actually sneak in the win as well. Then we're going to look at Ross Chastain here for Trackhouse. Now he's starting 24th, and Ross has managed two top fives in the past four races here. Trackhouse has had a lot of success here. In fact, they're one of the best teams that and on this track lately. And in fact, Ross has four top 20s at this track in those four races as well. So he got a lot of potential here. His starting position also gives him a lot of upside, and that gives him some nice utility here. Then we're looking at Tyler Reddick. I really do like Tyler today. 23XI has struggled a little bit here, but they have a good package for super speedway races, and it really just comes to whether they get in wrecks or stuff. I think he's a little bit safer than Bubba Wallace too. He's had some good races here and some bad ones. I do expect him to finish better than Wallace today, but a top 15 may be a bit risky considering the track record of 23XI in the last four races here, but he's definitely capable of a good one. Then we're going to look at Alex Bowman. Now, Alex is in a good car with Hendrick, and he also fared well in the Daytona races last week, and he's the highest rated driver over the past six races at Atlanta without a win. He's had four top 20s, two top 10s, and a top five in the last six. He's also a little bit discounted compared to other Hendrick drivers, and he's got just as good of a car, and he's starting in midfield, so that gives him a lot of potential to have a solid opportunity here. Starting 17th gives him a lot of upside. Then we're going to look at Eric Jones. Now he's starting at the back of the pack almost, and that really gives him some utility here. In the past four races, he's averaged finish here is best of the field at 9.3, which is hard to ignore considering the fact that he's starting in 37th. And Legacy does look like their cars are fast right now, so I think he's in a right spot, and he has a lot of potential to move up. Then we're going to look at Daniel Suarez for Trackhouse here. Now, Suarez has been inconsistent in his career, but in the last four races here, he's had three top 10s and two top fives. Trackhouse has performed well as well, and he's in play here with that potential. especially starting mid-pack, he definitely carries some potential there, though he does carry some risk because he has had some inconsistencies throughout. Looking at Austin Cindric uh, for Penske, I really do like his potential here. Now, he had a rough race in the Daytona race, but he should be able to bounce back here and have a solid finish. His starting position is pretty high, but that does carry some risk. But he's cheap, and he has the type of car that can finish well and get a top 10 or a top 5. Then we're going to look at Corey LaJoie here for Spire. Now, Spire's cars, none of them qualified all that well here, but Spire always seems to start near the back in most of their races here, and they managed to have a really good position difference finish for their cars throughout the last 4 races. And LaJoie has 2 top 5s in that stretch. He's also capable of having some really good potential to get into the top 5 and get some leading laps and things like that. So he's definitely somebody I think is considerable, especially with his starting position being pretty far to the back and being nice and cheap. Then we're going to look at John Hunter Nemechek. Now, he has not raced a Cup car here before, but he is in a Joe Gibbs car, and he's starting. Sorry, he's not in Joe Gibbs. I'm not sure if this is accurate because I'm pretty sure he's with Legacy Motor Club now. But he's not raced a Cup car here yet, but he definitely has some upside with this Legacy car being competitive, and he is near the backs, and he's dirt cheap, so he's definitely a contrarian play, but he's somebody that's a considerable option. Then we'll look at 2 more drivers, and Zane Smith here for Spire. Now, Spire has good cars, and starting 29th does give him some upside, being on a team that can do well here, though he does carry some risk, as this is going to be really his first thing. But if he can get through the race like he did at Daytona and get a top 15 finish, that would definitely pay off here. Same goes for Hemrick. Hemrick and Zane Smith are both guys that I consider to be you want them to try to survive to the end of the race to give themselves a chance to get a decent finish. And Carly actually has good cars for this track typically, so he's definitely worth a look here as well. And they both have that utility and upside. With that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and have a nice day, guys.